Let's get started, my dear students. The agenda is pretty clear. I'm going to tell you what has to be your blueprint for preparing political science and international relations. The idea is to help people who are going to write their exam next year, that is in 2027. Your roadmap should begin from today because optional preparation, particularly for PSIR, takes somewhere about 6 to 7 months minimum that is needed. Anybody who tells you that no, we are going to help you prepare in 1 or 2 months, 4 months, 5 months, don't fall for that trap. Honestly saying, if you're from some background, you can reduce this time a bit. You can make it to 4.5 or 5 months. But if you're not from this background, you need 6 to 7 months. Even with background, people need 6 to 7 months. The reason is simple. Graduation में पढ़ा होता है, we don't remember a lot of things. A lot of things are new. You need to read it from UPSC perspective. So be realistic from day one and know that you're going to need 6 to 7 months. That is needed. But having said that, my dear students, what can you do right from today so that these 7 months are actually utilized to the best of your capacity? So, after attending this lecture, after attending this webinar, this workshop, you don't need to watch another strategy video and you should not be watching any other strategy video. I see students wasting months only on strategy. Trust me, that is not required. You need to be very sharp with implementation. So, all your search for how to prepare is going to end today. You just need to take action. If you're delaying actions, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. Also, I don't promise that political science international relations is very easy. It's a very easy optional. After attending my classes, after attending my workshops, it's going to get easy. Those who are my students know me. I don't paint any rosy pictures. I just tell you the reality. And the reality is it's not an easy optional. Whether it is a rewarding optional or not, that I can promise you. And I can also promise you that after this session, you'll not suffer from clarity issues. You'll exactly know what has to be done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just need to implement it. So Ayush, Abhishek, Bharat, Pankaj, Srinath, I hope we are aligned with regards to what we are here for. Now, obviously, a very fair question. Somebody the other day was asking, why should I trust you on political science? बात भी ठीक है. You are new generation people. You should not trust anybody just like that. And that's only fair. I mean, we tell you to be vocal, we tell you to be people with opinions, then we should be ready to answer your questions as well. So, fair question, am I qualified to teach you political science or not? वैसे तो let me tell you, my dear students, any of these qualifications mean nothing when it comes to teaching a subject, but they do mean something when it comes to technical qualifications. So I've done my BA in political science. I have done my master's in political science. I have done my UGC NET in political science. I am pursuing my PhD in political science, which fingers crossed, I hope to complete this year finally. It's taken me a bit longer, but well, I was also working, also became a mother in between. So thoda sa delay ho gaya. But having said that, I hope to complete my PhD this year. I've been teaching political science for a very long time now. I have taught at Delhi University. I have before that taught at Sophia College, Ajmer as a political science faculty. And I somehow love political science because I have been associated with this subject for over 2 decades now. The first decade as a student, and then 1 decade, it would be 1 decade for me teaching political science. So one thing that I can assure you is I know political science. You can place your trust on me. This is a subject that means a lot to me. It has given me a lot, and I have given a lot of my time to this subject. So you can be assured that you are in safe hands when it comes to political science. At the same time, my dear students, I am somebody who likes to simplify complex stuff. Those of you who have seen my videos, those of you who have seen my reels, etc., know that I like to kind of make things simple for you. And that is also the philosophy of today's workshop. We'll keep it simple but effective. So we'll keep it exactly what needs to be told to you, and we'll keep it in a way that you take some actionable step from today onwards. So that's about me, my dear students. And now coming to your optional. So I can see that there are two kinds of students here. Some who have some familiarity with political science and international relations. कुछ पढ़ा है, they've read it in your, maybe bachelor's, maybe master's. Some of you have already decided that this is going to be your optional. And some of you are deciding whether or not this should be your optional or not. Either case, you should be very clear as to why PSIR is a good optional and why you should be taking PSIR. This is particularly for people who are still a bit confused. I received a mail or a two yesterday saying that we'll be attending tomorrow's workshop and we are not sure as to whether PSIR should be our optional or not. So, one thing that I'll tell you is if you're writing 2027, by now you should be absolutely clear on your optional. Don't spend too much time deciding. Once you've decided, please stick to your decision. Because ultimately, every optional has its advantage and disadvantage. So, after a point, it does not matter. It does matter to some extent, but after a point, it does not matter. Meaning, there are people who clear from even mathematics. There are people who clear from political science. There are people who clear from sociology. So, whatever is good for you, you decide and you stick to it because it's kind of a commitment that you make to this subject. Also, my dear students, the more time you waste in deciding, the late you'll start with your preparation. And we are already start sitting in June. So, I don't want you to do that. Speaking of political science, my dear students, I think it is one of the most well supported optionals. And I'll tell you what I mean by it. Books, there are so many excellent books written, notes are available, test series is available, model answers are available, entire ecosystem with regards to mentorship is available. Absolutely, I'm going to share everything, email, ID, Telegram, everything. Don't worry, just stay with me. Also, my dear students, there are a lot of people who had taken this optional, cleared, make mistakes. So the point is UPSC is not very transparent. You know that. हमें exactly नहीं पता what works. We don't know which answers receive more marks, which answers get less marks, but we can guess it based on the experiences of people who have taken this optional by looking at their answers, by looking at what their approach was. So, based on their trial and error, my dear students, we have a database. देखो concrete बात करते हैं. When you have data, it becomes easier to predict. हम data की generation में रहते हैं. We live in data generation. So, when you have people who have given this exam, they have tried their luck out, so our pool increases. So we kind of know, okay, paragraphs work better than points. Okay, including diagrams help. Okay, making a map is helpful. So the more trial and error we do, the more base we have to know what works. And that reduces trial and error for you. So you don't need to, try your luck. We already have systems in place which work for everybody. And 99% they're going to work for you. 1% it's UPSC, you can't say. But 80 to 90% there's a surety that this is going to work for you. Also, my dear students, one very big advantage with a lot of people do not talk about, but I would really want to talk about, and maybe if some of my students are here from the first batch, they can vouch it and honestly bata sakte ho, whatever it is. But when you read political science sincerely, it trains your brain. What do I mean by training? So, see, whenever you read political science, whenever you study political science from a very objective lens, you read thinkers, you read arguments for something, you read arguments against something. There is a justification of what you have read. There are some scholars giving you some opinions. You become very interdisciplinary in your thinking only. Matlab, today, if you read an article on environment, you instantly think of Gandhi. Or if you read an article of what is the responsibility of corporates, you instantly think of Gandhi ki, Are, this is related to trusteeship theory given by Gandhi. So what I'm saying is, PSIR syllabus, political science as a subject, is designed in such a way. It's not about me teaching. You read it from anywhere, you read it on your own. But eventually, if you read it the right way, you get the analytical tool to question things. You start looking at everything from a multidimensional perspective. Globalization, you'll see the economics of it. You'll see the sociology of it. You're going to look at the environmental impacts of it. You're going to see the national connection of it, the state connection of it. तो होता क्या ना आपका brain, your brain starts thinking in multiple dimensions. You start looking at for and against of things. And this is a very helpful skill. Why? Because this skill then helps you in your GS papers also. So eventually that skill transfers to your GS paper as well. And if read the right way, my dear students, PSIR gives you that analytical ability to comprehend your newspapers better. And we know when you comprehend your newspaper better, That's going to reflect in your answers as well. So that's my answer to why PSIR reason number two. Take, for example, this particular case point, my dear students. If I ask you, is the concept of welfare state still relevant in the age of globalization? So, all of you know what is globalization: movement of ideas, people, commodity, capital. Log aa rahe ja rahe hain. Capital is moving from one country to another. Goods are moving from one place to another. This is what we call as globalization. Now, if you are a one-dimensional thinker, you will say yes or no. Okay, globalization is welfare state is relevant in state of globalization, or no, now the state is not supposed to be welfare. It is not supposed to take care of the well-being of its people. But because you're trained in such a way, because you've been reading in such a way, instantly you don't reply in yes or no's. You start looking at different perspectives. What is the impact economically? What is the impact politically? Oh, does globalization have a social dimension also? What does that mean that welfare state is all the more important today? Because some people are not in the journey of globalization anymore. They are left behind in the journey of globalization. कुछ लोग इसको environment से भी connect कर लेंगे. They'll instantly think, oh, globalization has caused environmental damage. So all the more we need welfare state. I'm not here to teach you anything today. Don't be bogged down by the concept. Understand the point. The point is you are definitely going to become a multidimensional thinker if you look at PSIR from this perspective. And that's going to help you eventually in every paper. GS paper, essay paper, every paper. Coming to that, my dear students, overlap is something that a lot of people will tell you. Overlap कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. Every subject has an overlap. I agree. I agree. To some extent, all these subjects like sociology, history do have an overlap. Nobody can deny that. But PSIR's overlap is a big overlap. And I can, prove it to you. You look at your GS paper one. You have a little portion of your world history there. You have society there. This is what we read even in PSIR. GS2 can be entirely completed if you are reading PSIR. So the length of the subject is justified by the fact that there is a huge overlap. Or for example, my dear students, even your GS paper 3, the economy section, the globalization section, in fact, even sections like environment can have perspectives from PSIR. And then your paper 4, ethical arguments. आपके सारे thinkers that you read right from your Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Rawls, all of them can find place in your ethics का paper. So yes, this GS paper 4 ka, the entire interlinkage is directly where you can use your PSIR ka knowledge. And I am not even talking about the structural overlap. ये तो हो गया exact overlap क्योंकि 1 में you find this, 2 में, 4 में. Even essays. Essays, if you look at it these days, are getting very philosophical. They're not asking you straight essays now. So they'll not give you some topic, globalization is good or bad. They're going to give you things like you can't step the same river twice. So basically, a lot of philosophical essays are being asked. What is happiness? Revolve a question around happiness. So that's where you can bring in your PSIR insight again. And usse bhi important, as I said, you learn to analyze. Once you learn to analyze, the payoff is enormous. See, prelims, I really don't know what they are up to, what they are experimenting with. But mains may we know that analysis is rewarded. And that you learn through PSIR. That's a very big advantage of choosing this optional. Now, why did I spend so much time telling you why PSIR? Because hota hai, we take a subject and then we are doubtful whether it's going to work or not, whether it's going to work out for me or not. I understand those doubts. But be assured, you have taken the right optional. And if at this point you think it is not the optional for you, then be ready to leave it also. But once I'll repeat, if you commit to it, please commit to it with all your heart. And my dear students, there is a reason why this optional is performing consistently. Marks ऊपर नीचे हुए होंगे, I agree. The benchmark 300, below 300, okay. But there is a reliable range of average marks. So I saw a lot of people saying this time PSIR selection kam hue. That is a very relative figure. The absolute figure is still high. Why are you thinking the number is less? Because you're comparing it to last year. But eventually the average has been maintained. So it's still the most rewarding optional in very many ways. And it's not something that is based on trend. कि पिछले साल कोई optional, trend में था, now something else is in trend. This performance has been very consistent. And if something has been performing consistently, it definitely should be something that you can rely on. Also, you don't need to worry about the PPT and the resources. I'm going to provide all the resources to you along with the PPT. So don't worry about writing too much. Abhi, I have to be honest with you, and I have to also tell you why not PSIR. Because eventually we think कि यार मतलब all is good only, कुछ तो problem होगी. One thing that I would clarify is it's a demanding optional. It needs your time. So if you're looking for something easy, something that does not wants you a lot of things. वैसे तो no optional is easy, by the way. But there are optionals with low effort. I mean low effort in the sense you have a syllabus, you pick it up point to point, you read. You don't want to use too much of your gray cells. You're not somebody who likes to read current affairs. You're not somebody who wants to have a conceptual understanding. So after a point, PSIR may frustrate you. If you're not patient, if you can't give 6-7 months, then decide today. But if you're ready to commit, it will reward you, that I can promise. Even if you're out of the preparation cycle, even if you eventually don't clear, this is an optional with enormous benefits. As I said, you learn to analyze. So please avoid this optional if you're not ready to engage in debates, if you're not ready to read contemporary debates. In general, you're somebody who does not like to read newspapers. होता है ना, कुछ people are not very good with editorials. They don't enjoy reading it. I don't know. Every day nobody enjoys, but general hatred है अगर reading से, then you may find PSI to be overwhelming. But once you decide, please commit to it. Don't keep hopping your optionals every now and then. Okay, then, since we have settled as to why PSIR and why not PSIR, let us straight go to the resources. My dear students, the very first resource that you need is syllabus. Please take out a printout of the syllabus and keep it with you at all times. छोटी बात है, repeated बात है, पर बहुत काम की बात है. Very small thing, has been told to you a lot many times, but remains relevant every single time you begin this preparation. And I'll tell you something. The good thing about your optional preparation is they have literally given you a detailed syllabus. How many of you have had a good look at the PSIR syllabus? कितने लोगों ने अच्छे से syllabus को देखा? Honestly बताना, be honest with me. So Yash says, this is so true. Once I started studying PSIR from you, ma'am, my perspective or way of thinking. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, that's what we learn. That's what we learn. Harshita says me. Anubhav says me. Awesome. I like people who visit syllabus. I like people who pay attention to syllabus. Baki log, honestly, how many of you have a printout of it with you? How many of you have looked at all the subtopics? Very good, Yash. तुम्हें तो करना है तो पिटाई होगी. क्लास वालों को तो करना ही है भरत. Don't flex it. I'm talking about people who are beginning. Anubhav, okay. Good. Those who have not, ask yourself, how was it when we were in school? How was it when we were preparing for our school examination? We always had a syllabus. I love it, Harshit. Very good, Khushi. This is how it has to be done. So why are we changing it now? UPSC has not even given you an indicative syllabus. It has given you a detailed syllabus. So it's not like your prelims where the syllabus is indicative. Here the syllabus is detailed. You have every single point given in the syllabus. So why would you not have it? Good thing, if you have the syllabus, you can literally locate newspaper mein articles. Oh, federalism is in my syllabus. There's an article today on federalism. Of course I have to read it. That is literally a part of my syllabus. NAM is a part of my syllabus. There was an article day before yesterday on NAM being not relevant anymore. We don't hear about NAM anymore. तो पढ़ना है क्या? बिल्कुल पढ़ना है. Syllabus is your guiding path. The first thing that you'll do today is to get a printout of the syllabus. Those of you who don't have a syllabus already, I'll be sharing it. It's of course there on the UPSC website. but उसको थोड़ा सा ऐसे और color में करके we have made it. So I'm going to share it after the session today. If you want, you can take a printout of that as well. Second important resource is PYQs. I know there's a lot of hatred to PYQs these days after prelims 2026. सब कहते हैं PYQ कुछ आया तो नहीं PYQ में से. One thing is, my dear students, the 2026 prelims का paper, let's take it as an outlier paper. What do you mean by outlier? It's a paper that should not happen again or should not come again. Also, let's not compare prelims and mains. Mains में the scope of experimentation is limited. आज समझाऊंगी आयुष, don't worry. I'll tell you what the syllabus is. And please read it in detail, very important. In fact, memorize it if you can. Say Harshit says that he's memorized it. The best decision, Harshit. बहुत अच्छा किया. Others also should follow suit. So, coming to your point of PYQs, how are they helpful? If you look at PSIR questions, there's a definite repetition of themes. Themes have been repeated. Verbatim questions have been repeated. So you literally know what are the areas that have to be prioritized. जो हम क्लास में notes देते हैं, the notes that I give, I have put this column on PYQ trend analysis, where we write, okay, these are the areas that have to be prioritized. These are the topics that you should read in detail. So how is PYQ important, my dear students? It literally tells you this is the wheat, this is the chaff. So this is what you should prioritize. This is what you can kind of keep as your low priority topic. Now, the best way to do PYQ is you should have them arranged topic wise. So these are the 5 questions that have been asked on B.R. Ambedkar. These are the 10 questions that have been asked on Plato. So they should be topic wise. How does it help when you have it topic wise? You exactly know, okay, from this topic, these many questions have been asked. So after completing all your syllabus point by point by point, you would exactly go to your PYQ, solve that PYQ and move ahead. That is a good place to be. Now what we have done, my dear students, we have 13 year ka PYQs, which has been arranged in a thematic manner. We have arranged it in a thematic manner. So you have topic wise. So all the questions on globalization, all the questions on NAM, all the questions on political parties. This also thematic division of PYQs. I'll make sure that it is available to you on the Telegram channel. Download it, take a printout and keep it with you at all times. How do you use it? You use it just after you finish your topic. You use it before you start your topic. So I am to start with a topic A. Just look at all the questions that have been asked. Mark, okay, these are the areas that the UPSC is focusing on. Okay, these are the pointers that they've been asking. Done with your topic? Just see, are you comfortable enough in asking all the PYQs? If yes, that means you are on the right track. Do you think everything that I have said so far makes sense to you, my dear students? Are you with me? Do you think every single thing said so far has settled well with you? A yes or a no in the chat box would be helpful so that I know that you are with me and on the same page. Awesome, lovely, beautiful Hitashi, Satya, and Anubhav. Lovely. Now, how does the syllabus look like? So this is your syllabus, my dear students. You have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 has 2 parts, part A and part B. And similarly, paper 2 has 2 parts, part A and part B. Now, when it comes to paper 1, my dear students, there are 2 sections to it. One is political theory and political thought. So this is where you read theories, you read ideologies. This is also the place where you read your thinkers. For example, this is where you read Gandhi. This is where you read Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This is where you read Plato, Aristotle, Rawls. This is where you read concepts like democracy. This section is very static in nature. So this is a section that a lot of people are afraid, but I think this is the best place to play your bet. And this is something that you can prepare and be assured that, okay, this is a section that would see maximum number of repetition. There's not a lot of scope of adding current affairs, even though current affairs can be added here also and should be added, but the scope is bit limited. So this is one section that you should not be afraid of. Rather, you should be happy that this is a section that exists in your paper, because this section gives some certainty to your PSIR preparation. Static है, तैयार कर लिया, पता है ये एरियाज हैं, क्वेश्चन आने हैं, आई कैन रेप्लिकेट इट. Part B, my dear students, is Indian government and politics. So this is where you read judiciary, executive, legislature, party system, caste system, religion, how caste has impacted politics in our country. How was the constitution made? What were the debates during the Constituent Assembly? What were they fighting on? What was before the making of the Indian Constitution? How did it happen through the colonial era? How did it develop through that era? What is the impact of it on the present constitution? How do you see present issues being unfolded in judicial parlance or in executive, legislature? What about parliament? What about Lok Sabha? We read all of this here. This is where you see maximum overlap with your GS paper 2. So extremely rewarding section with regards to overlap, my dear students, is your IGP ka paper 1 ka part B. For your paper 2, my dear students, part A is comparative political analysis and international politics. Part B is your India and the world. So part A, my dear students, is theories again, and part B is the practical aspect of those theories. So here we read concepts like realism, idealism, how does it manifest in international relations? You read about balance of power, you read about national interest, you bring in some comparative perspective. Also in India and the world, you see its application. So India की foreign policy कैसी है? How do we interact with our neighbors, US, China, Japan? How do you see this interaction with regards to international bodies? How do we interact with IMF? What is UN? Does India have a permanent seat in UN? If not, why are we asking for one? So the theories that you read here are kind of applied when you read India and the world. So this is where you read the theories and then you look at it from the perspective of India. So overall, the syllabus is a mix of static and current. The most very current papers or sections are this and this. A parts of both the paper are more static in nature. However, I don't believe or I don't suggest that अपने answers को भी static बनाओ. The more contemporary your answers are, the better it is. So don't think that just because these papers are static, yes, Anubhav, please do that. You don't need to make them current only. It's very important that you put in current aspects in every answer. I mean, as many answers as possible. Of course, not every, but as many answers as possible. ठीक है. So paper 1 part A, part B, paper 2 part A, part B. We will keep our readings very dynamic, but we'll also make sure that we stick to static as well. Get our concepts absolutely clear, integrated with the current affairs, and write beautiful answers. Just wanted to tell you how does the syllabus look like so that you have a clarity with regards to what you will be reading. Now I'll come to strategy one by one. Very underrated and very overused is the word conceptual clarity. So let me ask you, what do you understand by the word conceptual clarity? बहुत सुना होगा conceptual clarity. What is conceptual clarity? Anubhav says, ma'am, you shared a picture of Trump and Netanyahu on Telegram and asked me to write a satire. I was a winner. Oh, yes, I remember. I gave you this book, Don't Believe Everything You Think. Yes, yes, that's one of my favorites. I can't express in words after reading this. There's been a great change in me. Oh, thank you, Anubhav. That's a happy story to read. I think I should start one more giveaway. I have some good books in mind. करते हैं, वापस से करते हैं Telegram पे. It's so important to read good books. चलो बताओ, what do you think is conceptual clarity for you? What is conceptual clarity? क्या होती है conceptual clarity? Anybody? What do you understand by conceptual clarity? What is conceptual clarity for you? How do you define conceptual clarity? Is it learning the definitions? Yash. Definitions याद कर लो, conceptual clarity हो गई. Is that what you understand by conceptual clarity? No. 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 Knowing definitions. Book is Don't Believe Everything You Think. Nikhil, okay? So please know that conceptual clarity is not about definitions. It's not about I now know the definition, so I have conceptual clarity over it. Conceptual clarity means, am I able to explain that concept? Until you are able to explain something, you have not attained clarity on it. And in PSIR, conceptual clarity means, do you know all the arguments? Do you know arguments against? Can you debate on that topic? Can you tell me what scholars have to say about that particular issue? So it has to be so clear to you that you are able to generate an answer from the concept that you have. वो कब आता है? When you really know the subject in and out. No, you don't have to be scholars. I'm not asking you to become scholars of political science. But after reading Balance of Power, I should be in a situation to explain it. I should be in a situation to apply that idea. I should be in a situation to give arguments for and against. And I should be related to what is happening in the world. So I have read a concept, but I can't picture it in the present global scenario. तो मतलब मुझे वो समझ में नहीं आया है. If I've read about judicial activism, but there is an article talking about it, and I don't know this is an example of judicial activism. So I'm sorry, then you don't have conceptual clarity. That is the level of conceptual clarity that you need 100%. Is it very difficult to achieve? No. Does it require efforts? Yes. So efforts will be needed, but you can achieve conceptual clarity. So in my classes, I, some of you have been part of it, you know. I start from basic. तो कुछ लोग पूछते भी कि मैम बेसिक से क्यों पढ़ा रहे, तो जनरल है बहुत. Because that's where the gold lies. Unless you know the basic, how are you going to build a base on it? Unless you really know what the concept is, how will the debates feature? Time lagega, but make sure that you gain conceptual clarity. The rewards are enormous. Remember, it's your optional. It literally decides whether you're going to be in the list or out of that list. It decides your rank, it decides your cadre. It is not something that you can take lightly. So from day one, make sure that conceptual clarity is your forte. Another argument. Ma'am, scholars bolte dalo answer mein. We have to write scholars. It is said that our approach should be scholarly. So thoda na, let me break it down for you. What do you mean by scholarly approach? Because a lot of people say your answer should be scholarly, but I don't see everybody knows what is the meaning of a scholar, or how do you know whether your answers are scholarly or not. Scholarly does not mean name dropping, my dear students. कि मैंने 10 नाम डाल दिए अपने आंसर में, I've given 10 names in my answer, now my answer is scholarly. No, it is very much possible that you are writing 5 scholars and you'll not get good marks, versus you're writing 1 scholar but you can still get good marks. Because scholarly का मतलब scholars नहीं होता है. Scholarly means, are you able to demonstrate that answer in a context of the question asked? If the question is asking you A and you're answering B and you're giving 5 scholars, then you don't get don't get the marks that you think you should be getting. So if they're asking you, do you think caste in Indian politics still determines electoral outcome? And you are writing Rajni Kothari said this, you are writing Suhas said this, you are writing Yogendra Yadav said this, but you're not telling me why caste is still important in Indian politics, then I'm not going to give you the answers. So all your arguments should be in a frame, and the frame is your question. If your question is not answered, then as many scholars as you write, you're not going to get marks. अपने को theory पे पकड़ बनानी है. We have to be very good with the theory. And trust me, if you know the theory, you can generate your own answers. If you exactly know Congress system, you can write any answer that they ask you about evolution of party system in our country. मुझे कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया ना, कांग्रेस सिस्टम था क्या. इफ आई नो द कॉन्सेप्ट, you're not somebody who will ever suffer with answer writing in PSIR. So what I'm saying is, be scholarly, but don't worry about mugging up scholars कि 100 स्कॉलर याद कर लेंगे मैम हम, देखना. That does not help. Very strategic use of scholars and very categorical use of scholar. So say there's a question, why do states go to war? क्यों लड़ते हैं देश आपस में? Why do they fight? Why do they go for war? Now, very first thing that you'll think is because of resources, because of territory, because of ideology. This is a general answer. PSIR वाला बंदा will try to find theory. So realist theory says कि war तो होनी ही है. War is about survival. We live in an anarchic world. What is an anarchic world, my dear students? There is nobody controlling. There is no guardian angel. UN है क्या guardian angel? Trump है क्या guardian angel? There is no guardian angel. So we live in a world where there is no guardian angel, where there is no world government. If there is no world government, then obviously states are going to fight one way or the other because they have to survive, because they have to become more powerful than others. Ab, while I'm writing my answer, I will write as per realist. This is scholarly. Not names, but concepts. जैसे जैसे concept पकड़ आ गया, you start featuring it in your answers. Your answers become PSIR answer. So don't be worried कि मुझे नाम याद करने पड़ेंगे. You have to. But not like you have to remember 100 names. I see these booklets being sold. Scholar ki book. That's not what you need. You need a structure, you need theories, and you need to learn how to write these theories in your answers. Also, my dear students, be very open to using examples and data. So we keep sharing these examples over your Telegram channel also. आप चाहो तो वहां से भी ले सकते हो. I'll tell you about my PSIR fix also. It's freely available on our Telegram channel where we give data. Data मिल रहा है, कुछ case study मिल रहा है, some example. Be very open. So be somebody who is open to learning. You see a data written on a metro ka seat, itna itna figure, you can remember it, reproduce it. Very good. Very good. Some contemporary thing you have seen around, you think it hits you. Yes, please. So be a little open to learning. That's going to reflect in your answers. Bring in case study. Substantiate karna hai. You have to prove that you are right. If you can prove it through statistics, through data, through examples, why not? Please do it. Also, my dear students, start thinking in an interlinked fashion. Let me explain this to you. So there are 4 sections, paper 1 part A, paper 2 part A, part B, and we think that they are isolated from each other. तो क्या होता है ना, when I'm reading Gandhi, I know I'm only reading about Gandhi. I'm only reading non-violence, trusteeship, and I think, okay, there is a moral messaging, I'll carry it in my answer. But you need to know that Gandhi is relevant in all the sections of your paper. You can use Gandhi in your IR ka section also. क्यों? Gandhi talks about global peace, global justice. So modern global justice can borrow from Gandhi. Gandhi said that the world is moving towards exploitation. Globalization may we see exploitation. I can bring Gandhi in globalization debate as well. अब ऐसे सोचो तो Indian political thought is in your paper 1 part A. So I am only going to write it in paper 1 part A. Why? You can use it to substantiate an answer in your international politics also, in your international relations also. So don't be closed. While you're reading a concept, if you can bring examples for other section, उसी paper के other sections, and substantiate your answer, do it. It will be rewarded because that shows you can interlink. You have that ability to link one concept with the other. Building such interlinkages can be absolutely game changer when it comes to your answer writing, my dear students. And as I said, please solve previous year's questions. I tell this to my class students. I'm going to tell you again. It sounds cliched, but it's going to be single big thing that you can do in your preparation. I see. जैसी कोर्स खरीदा, चलो अब हम आंसर राइटिंग का कोर्स खरीद रहे हैं. चलो अब हम एक मार्केट में बुक खरीद रहे हैं मैम, दैट इज अबाउट PSIR आंसर्स. एंड देन आई आस्क देम, तुम्हारे PYQs हो गए? Have you written all the PYQs? Have you brainstormed on all the PYQs? No. So it's like I'll eat dessert for my dinner. No. Additional questions are always welcome. But first, are you done with PYQs? And if not, then please do it. Because that has to be your starting point. That has to be done very, very sincerely, my dear students. Also, Start taking a look at toppers answer booklet. I'll again take a workshop specifically on toppers copies. I'm going to tell you exactly how to use them. But in your beginning of the preparation also, every now and then, kabhi thoda man kharab hai, ya you are too tired, just take a look at a PSIR copy. Just see how they write. Eventually, you can even use it for your value addition. कोई अच्छी बात लग गई किसी आंसर में, jot it down in your notes. You see a style of writing you like you copy it. That's a very good way to enrich your answers. That's a very good way to make sure that you get your answer writing better, because over time you can also replicate in your own answers. I hope so far my students are with me. Give me a yes or a no. Is every point connecting to the other? Do you get what I'm trying to tell you? Do you think this is making sense to you? A yes or a no, so that I and you are on the same page. How is the energy of the house? थक तो नहीं गए, घबरा तो नहीं गए? Are you happy? Are you fine? Are you okay? Okay, awesome. I like that. I like that. Energy low mat karna. Awesome, Nikhil. Lovely, lovely, beautiful. Yes, this should make sense, is the point. एक और बात लो. Don't be myopic in your vision. What is myopic? You were given a topic and you are like, I'm only going to read this topic. I am not going to go right, left. I'm not going to understand it in the broader context of things. This is not going to help you in this optional. So, say I am reading about environmental laws. So, you can't say I'm only going to read environmental laws, nothing else. My thinking will be shut. No. Thoda socho. What are the constitutional principles related to environment? Do I read environment ka something in DPSP? Is there environment ka something in fundamental duties? Eventually, you'll realize everything connects with the other. And everything actually can go back to the constitution. And then a web will be made in your head. So whenever you pick a topic, try to zoom it out and see, okay, environmental protection laws are very specific, but can I connect it to something more generic? Do I have directive principles mein this written? Do I have duties mein this written? Do I see that right to clean environment is a part of fundamental rights? So now you start looking at laws from a big lens. Oh, it is as important as fundamental rights, that it is there in DPSP, that it is there in fundamental duties. This ability, if you develop, that is going to reflect in your answers. कैसे करनी है? By being aware. A simple awareness tool I'll give you. While you're reading, no, don't read passively. Engage with the content. Pada and try and close the chapter and ask yourself questions. Okay, this is what it was written. Have I read something like this before? Is it there in my constitution? Is there a theory that I've read about it? Gradually, you will realize that your बच्चे पूछते हैं मैम मेरा दिमाग चलता ही नहीं है. I can't brainstorm. That is because you never do active reading. Honestly बताना, कितने लोग चैप्टर पढ़ने के बाद उस पर सोचते हैं? 5 minutes I'm saying. How many of you, after reading the content, think about it for 5-7? I'm saying thinking. I'm not saying reading. Thinking and reading are different. You do a lot of reading, but are you thinking also? Are you pondering over the content? Are you relating it to what you have already read? That's going to make a lot of difference. A lot of difference, I promise you. So make it a habit from today onwards. As soon as you're done with a topic, blank sheet उठाओ and think. Think randomly. This topic connects to what? कहीं मैंने पहले पढ़ा है क्या? Did I ever read something about it in news? Have I experienced it in my life? The point is, you, when you're reading passively, will never develop interconnection. Market में ना books आती हैं. I'll also give you interconnection for you. मेरे students को मैंने बोला है, when you're writing your exam, I'm going to give you a book of interconnections, a booklet of interconnections. ठीक है, it's going to help. Yes, it's recorded, absolutely. But unless and until you develop it yourself, you are only going to go this far. हमें बहुत आगे जाना है. उसके लिए we need to develop this habit. And for this, just do a simple exercise from today onwards. After you are done reading, close the chapter, take out a piece of paper, give 5 minutes to thinking. Call it as your thinking break. How many of you are going to do it? Give me a yes or a no. If you want me to make a video on it as to how to do active thinking, let me know. I can make a short 10-15 minute video and teach you how you can do this and practice this with regards to your answer. I think it will be a good, nice, short video. I can make it for you. उसको देख के you can try incorporating it in your answers. But start doing it in your reading. But start doing it from today onwards. आज से करना start कर दो. And come back and tell me in a week whether it has made some difference to you or not. I promise you, you are going to notice a difference. Now, ma'am, okay, this is very generic points that you gave, but trust me, those are the most important points. But ma'am, I need to know the book list. Fair question. Good, Anish. Try करना और मुझे बताना भी. You can write to me and tell me if it helps because I'm sure it's going to help you. Thinking block आ गया. Actually, we have become very passive people. है ना? अब with AI, it's all the more passive. Prompt दे दो, सब चीजें आ जाती हैं. But I highly recommend don't outsource your thinking. सिर्फ ये दिमाग ही हमारा बचा है. If we are going to outsource our brain also, I don't know where we are going to go. So no, I'm not an anti-AI person. Please use AI. But don't outsource your thinking. The first draft should be yours. Final draft can be from AI, but the first draft should be yours, is what I believe. If you disagree, you can let me know. Now, I've given you all the books written very clearly here. This PDF will be available to you. I've exactly told you which section mein, what areas you need to read. A sincere suggestion, my dear students, before you start reading any books, any notes, please complete your class 11th and 12th ka NCERT. Again, I'm telling you, this is the single good thing that you will do to your preparation. Class 11th, both the books, Political Theory, Indian Constitution at Work. Class 12, both the books, Contemporary World Politics and India's Struggle for Independence. अच्छे से पढ़ो इन दो किताबों को. These 4 books, read them very nicely. Basic strong हो जाएगा. When you will move to advanced books, things will be much better. So your starting point has to be class 11 and class 12th ka books. Move over to section by section. I've given you a book list. I highly recommend IGNU notes. So I've written IGNU notes at a lot of places. And I'll tell you why I recommend IGNU notes. The reason is, my dear students, they are written in a lucid language. अच्छे language में लिखे हुए हैं. They don't bog you down, but still they are very good with content. And that's very rare. Like that combination is rare, where the language is also not very flowery, but at the same time, they've not compromised with content also. So you can refer to this book list nicely. I've given you the entire book list, what you need to read. I've also given you chapters. If you're reading Subhash Kashyap, these are the chapters that you need to read. Bipin Chandra mein se only intro and conclusion, not the entire book. I've also given you some people jinke editorials you should not be missing. So yes, when you're reading your newspaper, if there is an editorial by Gopal Krishna Gandhi, Gautam Bhatia, must not miss them. They write very beautiful editorials which can greatly help you enrich your answer writing. Now, my dear students, some of you will tell me, ma'am, can I pick up notes? Yes, you can do that. Some notes are also available on our PSIR free course. आपको मैं link दे दूंगी of the PSIR free course also. You can download those from the free course as well. That also you can do. If you are in my course, of course, out of all of these books, I've made notes. So then I don't recommend that you buy books. But if you are planning to do it on your own, book से करना चाहते हो, this is the book list. Notes से करना चाहते हो, pick up the notes that you want to. But one thing I would say, if you pick up notes, then please pick up notes that speak to you. Don't pick up any note just because it is the popular notes in the market. It should be notes that speak to you. पढ़ के you are able to make sense of it. Anything can get popular if 10 people speak about it, but that does not mean that's the one-stop solution. Whichever notes you pick, you please stick to those notes would be my suggestion. Life left, right, center move nahi karna hai. We don't have to go all over the place and make it difficult for us. We have to stick to one book or one notes that we have picked up. If you're going for this book list and if you trust this book list, तो सिर्फ यही करना फिर. So ऐसा नहीं, I'm picking up IGNU notes also and I'm picking up notes available in the market also. मैम के notes भी ले लिए. What I see is people pick up a note, समझ में नहीं आया, they'll move to some other notes. Then they are going to go to some other notes. And that's how you keep repeating the cycle over and over and over again. मत करो ऐसा. Whatever notes you pick, you give it 2 days. If it is working for you, tell yourself, I'm going to read them. If it is not working for you, quickly change your strategy. But don't read one section from somewhere, another section from somewhere. It's not going to take you anywhere. I hope that makes sense to you. I've given you all the books, I've given you editorials also. You may refer to this book list and use it for your preparation. I also recommend, my dear students, these sources. And no, I'm not overwhelming you. I'm going to simplify it for you. And I'm going to tell you how do you use them better. So, my dear students, see, as I told you, you have to be scholarly. And I told you scholarly ka matlab ye nahi that you have to put a lot of scholars. By scholarly, I mean your answers should be connected to the real world. They should be connected to theory. अब theory तो set हो जाता है because you'll need read notes, or you're going to attend classes, or you're going to, read books, whatever. But theory will be settled, that I know. How do you bring current? See, it's a very dynamic optional. So many. So Hasini, don't worry. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you this at home. इसको अच्छे से अपने पास रखना. Please use it, no problem. I mean, it will be given to you over the Telegram channel. If you want, you can give me your email. I'll mail it to you also. Srinath, my classes कैसे join कर सकते हैं वो भी I'll tell you towards the end. Don't worry about that as well. Everything I'll clarify. So these are, my dear students, some sources that you can use for current affairs. सबसे पहले, why are current affairs important? Current affairs are important, my dear students, because it is a dynamic optional. So if I'm explaining something and I can substantiate it with something happening in the world, I'm writing an answer on war, on balance of power, and I can bring the present Israel-Iran USA conflict. What can be better than it? I'm explaining the concept of blockades and I can bring in Suez Canal. So ये ऐसा optional है, my dear students, that is happening around you every single day. Indian polity is happening every single day. IR, it's happening every single day. So what I'm saying is, this is an optional with a lot of things happening around. And if you can use them in your answers, there is nothing like it. Now the problem is, keeping a check of all of this is very difficult. So we have a free initiative. You can use ours. कोई और use करना चाहते हो, that also you can use. But I recommend once a week do read one article on your own. Go to ORF, read one article. Not more than that. For rest, you use any good monthly magazine that comes on the subject. We have a monthly magazine which we call as PSIR Fix. I'm very proud of myself and my team for creating this. जिन्होंने use करी है, you would know that this is really nicely made. Efforts जाते हैं इसमें. Is there anybody who is facing any voice issues? Anubhav says. Okay, so looks like something from your end. Maybe you would like to log off and log in once. हर्षित कह रहा है, मैम इसको यूज कैसे करेंगे? This is exactly where you need to be making sure that you are writing answers. So how will you learn to use them in your answers? देखो, retention का तो simple है, you will have to revise. The way they'll start showing up in your answers is when you're going to write answers every single week. So I'm going to tell you how note making has to be done. We make notes in a fashion whereby current affairs are included in your core static notes only. So होता क्या है ना, what you people do, I have made notes on, say, give me a topic, caste in Indian politics, or let's take more generic topic, judiciary, है ना? So I'll make one note on judiciary static, one note PSIR में क्या आया on judiciary. I don't want this. I want anything from the current on judiciary to be added with the notes on judiciary. कैसे नहीं आएंगे तुम्हारे आंसर्स में? 100% हर्षित, it's going to reflect in your answer. So I should have notes where after I'm done reading everything about static judiciary में, I have current example right there. Right there. So for example, there's a book review on Indian foreign policy. एक book आया था on Indian foreign policy, and it talked about how Indian foreign policy is becoming going back to strategic autonomy. अब मैं इसको कहाँ लिख रही हूँ? I should be writing it in my paper 2 part B Indian foreign policy evolution एक लाइन में. Now I have every current added to my static. When I'm reading my static, I'm repeating my current. It's going to reflect in your answers. Note making is a point where your content from PSIR fix should go into your static. Give me 5-6 more minutes. I'm going to tell you, Harshit, how exactly do you do that? Now, where do you find this PSIR fix? We share it every month on our Telegram channel. By 12th, the one for May will also be available. So it goes like this. May ka is available in June. And April ka came about in like that. So March came in April, like that. So after that month, by the 10th or 15th of the next following month, it's available for free on our Telegram channel. You can download it from there. At the end of it, we also give some practice questions based on the entire PSIR fix, which you can use to kind of recall everything that you have, learned from PSIR fix that month. Anybody who has read PSIR fix and has something to say about it? Anybody positive, negative? किसी ने पढ़ी है यहाँ पे PSIR fix? So Arshita, PSIR fix is like a magazine, like a monthly magazine. Anybody who has read PSIR fix or any other monthly magazines that you have been reading? So, Abhi, you don't have that much time that you go and read all the articles. A better way forward is to find a book, find a magazine that can give you everything consolidated at one place. And current affairs will then not be treated as a separate subject. You can start integrating it in your answers also. So, this PSIR fix is available on our Telegram channel, PSIR with UPSCprep.com. I'll give you the link also after we finish with the session, and you can go and check it out. The previous editions are also available. Ab I have a question. How many of you think every subject has a vocabulary? हर subject की एक language होती है. When do we learn language, by the way? What was the first word that you spoke? Anybody remembers? Parents को पता होगा आपके. So we say there is a language. What do you mean by language? Language is a way you communicate, right? Language is something that helps me communicate with you. Okay. So why do I say that even subjects have language? When it comes to political science, there are certain terminologies that define this subject. So अगर मैं दो जनों को खड़ा कर दूं, one who is from a non-political science background and somebody who is from a political science background, how are they going to speak is going to tell me whether they have read the subject or not. तो कुछ लोग कहते हैं बड़े फैंसी वर्ड्स होते हैं मैम, डेमोक्रेटिक डेफिसिट, deepening of democracy. More and more people are participating in democracy. And a PSIR guy will write or a girl will write, we witness deepening of democracy once caste-based parties came to India, were created in India. अब आप कहोगे बहुत फैंसी नहीं है. That is the language of the subject. Every subject has a language, not just political science. कोई भी subject उठा लो आप. Sociology is going to have its language. That is defining the subject. Ab, if you look at the notification released by UPSC, can you tell me what level of qualification do they need from you? What is the preparation level that they expect from you in optional? किसी ने notification पढ़ा है? What do they expect? How much of political science should you read? What does the UPSC say with regards to your subject expertise? If you look at the notification, my dear students, absolutely Pavitran. It says honors level. So what is on? No, not graduation. Honors. आपका notification कहता है that in optional, you should have an honors level understanding. Now, what is honors? More than graduation and less than masters. Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between, right? So tell me, somebody who has done honors in political science would know the key terms or not? What is your bet? Do you think they would know the keywords or not? Of course. That's why it is very important that you build a vocab of this subject. Please check, Abhishek. Graduation is needed for appearing the exam. That is different. I'm saying as a with respect to optional. So they write you should have a honors level understanding of the optional. अब problem क्या होती है? I'll tell you two problems. When you don't know terms, understanding questions become difficult. तुम देख लेना. This time what happened? People knew the answer, but they didn't know कि ये question पूछ रहे हैं. I look at the question and I'm like, what are they asking? I don't know because I don't know the vocab of the subject. So let me tell you something very important, my dear students. Don't fool yourself. Many people will tell you simple rakho, simple rakho, simple rakho. I am not saying write your flowers, like your, write heavy English. I'm not talking about that. English has to be simple only. No extravagant, throw of vocabulary. No, I'm saying write subject ka vocab. Learn the terms of the subject. और उसके दो फायदे हैं. One, you are going to use it in your answers. And two, you're going to understand the question paper better. So for this also, my dear students, we have a running initiative on our Telegram channel, which is again absolutely free. It is called as PSIR Dictionary. I can vouch for it that it is helping people. We are on day 48. Again, very humbly I say, thode honge log, but we have been able to help some people. What I do is I share one word every day which builds your vocabulary of the subject. I share a short note on it and I share my voice note on it explaining that topic simply. So, say for example, we picked up electoral integrity, then we picked up social cleavages. So, the term, the explanation of it, a brief, and then a voice note over it. Please tell me, Pankaj, what is your problem? डालो इसमें अपने Q&A में एक बार. Please tell me, I'll try and address it to you. So please do it. I mean, can somebody who is following it tell me how much time does it take every single day? कितना time जाता है? I am betting not more than 15 minutes. Maximum 15 minutes. सब कुछ मान के सुन लो. 3 minutes audio, 3 minutes reading. I am saying 3 more minutes revision, 5 minutes active recall. Not more than 10 to 15 minutes. But do you realize if you cover 300 terms, what does that mean? That literally means you would have 300 words to write in your answers. तुम्हें नहीं पसंद आ रहा मेरा इनिशिएटिव, तुम कहीं से भी कर लो. आई एम नॉट सेइंग मुझसे करो, बट प्लीज डू योर vocabulary thoroughly. Unless and until you are thorough with the vocab, it's not going to reflect in your answers and there is a cost attached with it. Pavitran says 20. मैं बोलूं ज्यादा 20 minutes maximum, but that's doable, isn't it? How many of you will be following this at when we complete 50, by the way, we are going to also have a short active recall session on PSI dictionary. But I want to know how many of you are aligned with me so far? Am I talking in thin air or are you with me? Is every single detail making sense to you? Very good, Harshita. Awesome, awesome, beautiful, beautiful. We want to make sure कि एग्जामिनर हमारे आंसर पढ़ के देख रहा है that, oh, she is from political science. She is from the subject. And that's going to change the game for you. And honestly, you don't even have to be too much of a scholar. After you clear this exam, तुम भूल जाना political science को, मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. I'll be very honest with you. I want you to clear exams. I don't want you to become another teachers. No, please. We have enough of them. उसके लिए हम बैठे हैं. आप मतलब बनना चाहो तो बन सकते हो, बट फोकस ऑन क्लियरिंग एग्जाम. सो अभी के लिए retain, move ahead, sound scholarly even if you're not a scholar. I don't care. Yes, utility देख लो. So that's one thing. Make sure that you practice these words, start using them in your answers, write specific terminology. So electoral integrity लिखो अपने आंसर में. Don't write election should be free and fair and they should be inclusive. Write electoral integrity. बढ़िया word है. So yes, build PSIR vocabulary is another suggestion. Now, for 5 minutes, my dear students, I would like to also. Oh, Ritu says she is not able to see PSI dictionary from day. Okay, so for that, what you can do is, Ritu, you can join our PSIR free course. वो सिर्फ 1 रुपए का कोर्स है, मतलब it's just a figurative amount. उसमें we have uploaded all the past PSIR dictionary. All the terms have been uploaded there. So you can just join the course on upscprep.com, and free course के नाम से there's 1 rupee का course. They're all old PSI dictionaries are there. So you can take it from there. Now for 2-3 minutes, I'll also like to tell you about the course because some of you may be interested. If you're not interested, that's also fine. You can just stay with me for 5-7 minutes. There are few more things that I want to add after I tell you a bit about the course that we are starting from 22nd of June. We call it as the comprehensive foundation course for a reason. I, for one, begin with the absolute basics. So even if you're from the background, you're not from the background, I start from ground zero, base zero, and we built on it eventually. So the idea is simple. I don't want you to keep reading political science for 1.5 years. जो अभी होता है. People will teach you paper 1 part A for 6 months. Bhai, at the end of the day, that paper 1 part A is only going to come as much as part B and paper 2 part A and part B is coming. किसी भी कोचिंग में जाओ, my dear students, don't fool yourself. You don't need to read this optional for 2 years. You have 7-8 months. You'll have to finish it. You will have to make sure that all parts are taken care of adequately. A bit about the features, my dear students. I'll be covering, there are about 350 plus lectures. ज़्यादा ही होंगे, कम नहीं है. I start from basics. I move to advanced. All the topics will be covered. I, for one, is somebody who believes in conceptual clarity. So my classes make sure that you get conceptual clarity. All the emails I personally answer. So I am available to you over email. Of course, there's a TAT of 48 hours. So that has to be a little bit taken care of. We also have these group mentorship sessions every now and then. We soon will be starting with one-on-one mentorship as well. So you can book your mentor calls. I provide notes based on all of these books, my years of reading, current affairs. And no, I don't keep the notes static. I make sure that they are updated. So you will find updated notes also. Answer writing we start doing from the first week. Please, हमें answer writing syllabus complete होने पर नहीं करनी है. Please don't think I have to do answer writing once मेरा पूरा syllabus हो जाएगा, then I'm going to do answer writing. Nothing of that sort happens. We have to do it periodically, every now and then. It has to be done systematically. Also, we have these answer writing classes where I teach you how to write answers. So those are live answer writing. उसमें what we do is I give you 10 minutes. In 10 minutes you write and then we discuss. कि okay, आपने ये लिखा, I think this could have been included. I share my insights on it. That is what we call as the answer writing masterclass. And yes, you get a monthly magazine, which is the PSIR fix. We also have PYQ booklets provided. इसमें पूरे model answers है. All the 13 years PYQ solved will be provided to you. There are two variants to the course. One is with test series and one is without test series. The test series module has these 12 sectional tests and 4 full length tests. And you can appear for it till 30th of August 2027. But I recommend that you follow the schedule and don't delay it because वो बाद में फिर कभी नहीं आता. Also make sure, we make sure, my dear students, that you get model solutions to it. Also, you have to attend live. You can attend live. I highly recommend that classes should be, you try and attend live classes. But I have a lot of students in my course who are working professionals. So नहीं हो पाता कि रोज live lecture देख रहे. In that case, you can also go for the 3-year recorded. You can also watch recorded lectures. The recordings are available to you for 3 years. So once the course is done, you can access the recording for 3 years. That's with you. My dear students, the course takes about 6 to 7 months. As I said, the recordings are available to you for 3 years. We are going to give you a detailed plan, like which topic, when, what will happen. We are going to give you an entire plan of it. And the classes are in English. So, ma'am, is it English or English? The classes are in English. And let me tell you, my dear students, wherever you're taking optional classes from, at least optional classes please take in English. because English is not a medium in your exam. And optional में if you start taking English classes, that reflects in your answers. मत करना अपने साथ ये गलती. Don't do this mistake. Any course that you sign up for, decide. Optional course should either be in Hindi or it should be in English. So just because it is easier, don't go for a English course because that's going to reflect in your answers. Go for a course that is either in English or in Hindi, depending upon which medium you are writing your answers in. This is the course price, my dear students. We have a two variant approach to it. One is with test series, one is without test series. 19,999 is without test series and 24,999 is with test series. You also get a 10% off. Right now the pre-launch discount is going, so you can apply that and you can you join the course. The course starts from 22nd of June. That was a bit about course. If you have any questions, of course you can approach the team. One more thing that we have started is for the next 15 days. Today is no, till 22nd of June. If you have any queries with regards to optional and you want to speak to me on a one-on-one session, so the date of pre-launch end is still not out. Just write an email to me and I'll ask the team and let you know what is the date, because the date is still not out. But yes, it's going to be there for at least a week more. एक week तो रहेगा. Also, my dear students, if you are not sure whether this course is for you or not, if you're not sure कि पता नहीं मैम PSIR लेना है नहीं लेना है, if you're not sure whether I want to study from whatever, if you have any doubts with regards to PSIR and if you want to get a one-on-one session with me, that also you can book. This is a number that you can save. You can contact the team here. You can tell them that I want a mentorship session with ma'am. It can be about 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon, of course, the mutual convenience between you and me. And we can speak and we can see, what are your problems. And if PSIR is not for you, if course is not for you, I'll tell you that also. So we'll make a fair choice there. If you're not comfortable with that, you can even write to me. This is my email ID, neelam.bhatia@upscprep.com. Whatever works for you. Also, my dear students, the classes go on from 11 to 1:30. So it's a 1.5 hour class, 2.5 hour class for the next 6.5 months. 11 to 1:30, Monday to Saturday. Sunday is either you're off or I take answer writing session in it. And I repeat, it's a course purely in English. The live, the recorded. So if you're looking for English classes, and I don't mean to disrespect, if you say Hindi, I have all my respect. English is no language. English is still okay for GS because fine, you have to write general answers. But in optional, it's very sad that people are teaching optional in English just because it is popular. For videos, etc., that's a different thing. But for optional theory, I don't see a point you reading in English. So yes, Pavitra, the course is entirely in English, not in English. Makes sense? Live is only recorded. So live classes is what you get the recording of. If you have any questions, you can ask me, but I would like to touch upon few more things here. How do you make notes? My dear students, even if you are having detailed notes of any coaching, you're using my notes, I recommend that you should be making summary notes. I'll show you what do I mean by summary notes and why I ask you to make summary notes. My dear students, tell me, how do you know whether you have understood a topic or not? How do you know whether you've retained a topic or not? कैसे पता चलता है? How do you know कि okay, this is the topic that I have understood? Is there a mechanism that you know कि ठीक है मुझे topic समझ में आ गया? So what I see most students do is they would read the detailed notes and they will move forward कि चलो I'm done with this. The problem with this approach is, my dear students, when you only read the detailed notes, you have not condensed it on your own, then recall value falls greatly. You are not able to recall it whatsoever. Versus, my dear students, when you make summary notes, you engage with the subject. okay, this went wrong, this went right, okay, this is what I did not understand, okay, this I'm not able to replicate. Also, my dear students, a very important point with summary notes is they are very effective for revision. Abhi, picture this. After the end of the course, you will have somewhere about 1800 pages to revise, versus you will have, say, about 120 pages to revise or 200 pages to revise. Which you think is easier? Which one of these you think is easier? Oh, screen is not visible. One. Just a minute. So this is what I mean by summary notes. Can you see the screen now? Is the screen visible to you? This is what I mean by summary notes. Basically, you condense everything in such a way that you can easily revise it. In such a way that I just look at this now before my exam and I know, okay, this is the scholar. Okay, this is the debate around it. Okay, this is the point. Basically, once you make summary notes, you would have a hand ready-made revision module ready. And trust me, this is what you need before exam. You can't dig into enormous pages and pages before the examination. It's literally impossible to do that. So please start making summary notes from day one. I'll also be making a video, or I'll be taking a separate session on how to make summary notes also. In case you want to take a look at a sample summary note to learn, I'll share it after the session today on the Telegram channel, so that you have a fair idea as to what summary notes are and how to make them. Now, karna kya hai? What has to be done? So what you do is you pick 4 folders and name them. You can do it digitally also. And if you want, you can do it physically also, whatever works. Screen is not visible again. Are you people able to see the screen? Kya ho gaya? Hitashi says she's not able to see the screen. Harshita also. Is it visible now? Can somebody confirm? Visible. Okay. So what you do is you pick up 4 folders and name them. Paper 1 part A, paper 1 part B, paper 2 part A, paper 2 part B. Okay? These 4 are your 4 folders. Now what you have to do? For each folder, in each folder, you start filing your summary notes. Sorry. Say this is your paper 1 part A, and the first topic is political theory, meaning, nature and approaches. First summary note of meaning, nature and approaches should be added. Similarly, if you're doing it digitally, do it the same way. And add a blank sheet at the end. इसके end में you attach a blank sheet. Now, whenever you read something from current affairs, which is related to Mahatma Gandhi, pick up your paper 1 part A, pick up the topic on Gandhi, the short notes that you already have, value addition sheet is there. Just pick up that line and write it in the topic on Gandhi. So, do you know what this will do? I will have everything about Mahatma Gandhi at one place. I will have everything about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar at one place. I will have everything about Plato at one place, including the current events. So the point is the summary note should be segregated topic section wise, 4 folders. After every topic, attach a blank sheet. कुछ data मिला, you found a good insight, you found a good point, you found a good scholar, you got a good book. One line, pick it up and write it in your value addition sheet. Before exam, I literally have everything about that topic at one place, and that is a game changer. That is a game changer, my dear students. So make sure that you make this 4 folder approach a regular practice. If you are making summary notes physically, then keep attaching it in your folder. If you're doing it digitally, then do it digitally. But then you create 4 folders accordingly. Don't forget to attach a blank sheet for value addition so that you have everything at one place. This is how note making should be done. Revision अच्छा होगा, answer writing अच्छी होगी, your learning will be organized. One thing that you must know is the more organized you are in your optional preparation, the more rewarding it is going to be when you're going to appear for the exam. Because there's so much to do. And when there is so much to do, clarity is rewarded, organization is rewarded. All right. Now, let's come to answer writing. Ma'am, when do I write answers? Please don't write answers of thinking that I'm going to write answers once I'm going to done with the entire preparation. That's a disastrous strategy. The first 10 answers of average aspirants are ridiculous because most of you have forgotten to write. Let's be honest. कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है. University is not rewarding writing. We don't write blogs anymore. So basically, we don't know how to write. So the first stage of answer writing is to learning that how we used to write. So stage 1 may don't be very concerned about writing perfect answers because we don't want to make perfect answers. We just want to get into the habit of writing. How do we do that? You're done with 2 topics, begin. Write bekar but begin. First stage, my dear students, is just getting the habit of answer writing back. The target in the first session should be, the first stage should be, I see a question and I'm able to replicate it in my answer. I am able to see a question, I'm able to dissect what they are wanting, and I am reproducing an answer. This is stage 1. Stage 2 is when you write answers which are better than your stage 1. What do I mean by better? So now you are bringing in some kind of a scholarly approach. Now you are writing a scholar somewhere. Now you are integrating a theory somewhere. And the third stage is polished answers, where you are not only answering the demand of the question, you are bringing in theory, but you are learning to interlink also. Most students think कि पहली बार में I'll reach stage 3, which does not happen. Unless, of course, you're very good with the subject. I'm not debating. There are some people who are very good with the subject. I'm not talking about that. But if you're somebody who has started off or who is not very excellent with the subject already, it can be 1, 2, and 3 stage done in a manner that you begin writing, you polish it in stage 2, and you make it in stage 3. With the fear of not being able to write stage 3 answers, don't stop at stage 1 itself. Begin the stage 1. My suggestion is begin within 2 weeks of your preparation. 2 हफ्ते हो गए ना? Pick up the topic and write. If you are not getting the confidence, write a paragraph. Write a summary of the editorial. But please write. Please don't delay answer writing. I'm telling you, this is one thing that can change the game for you. Don't be afraid of answer writing. Likho, write answers. Very, very important. Ma'am, should we write in paragraphs or should we write in points? Now, let me tell you, UPSC has not given a clarification as to do they want paragraph answers or do they want point answers. But let's be a bit, analytical. They are saying that they want a honors level answer from you. You tell me, my dear students, don't you think an honors level person would write in paragraphs more than points? Because paragraph gives flows, because paragraph comes with interconnection, because there is a logical flow to the answer when you write in paragraphs. I suggest, my dear students, that at least the 20 markers and the 15 markers you write in paragraphs. Some answers you can write in points, particularly 10 marker, or there is a list that has to be written, or in some answer you have to, give some quick points, or you are short of time. But otherwise, try and use paragraphs more than points would be my suggestion, my dear students. Simply because that shows that you are scholarly. अब पैराग्राफ से प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है मैम देर इज अ क्लटर फेयर फॉर दैट यूज subheadings. Write subheading, write your paragraph. Write subheading, write your paragraph. There would be no clutter if you write in paragraph. Ma'am, will we be punished if I write in points? As I said, there is no rule. But as people who have observed UPSC for long, if you see toppers, the average calculation comes out is it is better to write in paragraphs over points. That is more safer. I am not saying that nobody can clear if you write in points. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ. I am saying a better and a safer approach is to go by is the paragraph, because paragraphs are more organized in nature, in the sense that they give you a flow, in the sense it looks like everything is connected to each other. But yes, of course, if you are on short on time, if you think you can, you may otherwise lose marks, question paper hi pura nahi hoga, you'll not be able to complete, then that is a different scenario. Points can be used in that case. Now, what about diagrams, ma'am? Please use flowcharts. But please don't use flowcharts for things that does not require a flowchart. Pictorial representation should be for things that can be expressed through flowchart. जैसे Jeremy Bentham का panopticon view. You can make a diagram. India-Pakistan border dispute. Make a map. David Easton's systems theory. Make a diagram. But don't make a diagram like I am explaining four features of caste system in Indian politics. Caste in Indian politics. Those are not diagrams. So diagrams and flowcharts should be done on topics where a diagram and a flowchart is organically coming. Same thing I'm writing in bullets also, same thing I'm writing of making a flowchart on, not a good approach. I hope that makes sense to you and you take it with a with this advice that it should look organic and not forced. Also, my dear students, it's always very good to be current ready. Use quotes in your answers, scholars in your answers. I also give these ready-made intro conclusions towards your when your mains is nearing. You can use ready-made intro conclusions also, but please don't run for ready-made intro conclusions abhi. That is not to be done today. Right now, you write your own intro and conclusions. This is something that we can do when we are at the, you know, end of our preparations or when you're about to write your mains. Okay, okay, now time is less. Let's get some ready-made intro and conclusion and reproduce. For all of this extra edge, I highly recommend you use PSIR fix. I know it may sound difficult in the beginning, but once you're going to start getting into habit of reading PSIR fix, after a point, it's going to reward you heavily. The book reviews, the book summaries, the facts that we share there, the keywords that we share there, you will see that they are going to change the way you write your answers. So if you're not using PSI Fix already, I mean, it's not a promotion because it's anyway for free. So I'm not trying to sell it, but I'm telling you, it looks overwhelming to begin with, but the reward of it is high. So instead of collecting all of these PDFs and PDFs, stick to a resource and use it would be my suggestion. So my dear students, I think I have given you all micro to macro details that were needed. You don't need strategy now, you need action. So please act on it today. Please don't treat it as yet another lecture jo aapne suna and you forgot about it. Make sure that you act on it, because only when you act on it you will see results. Otherwise it's going to be yet another talk that you attended and did nothing about it. So tell me whether everything discussed made sense to you, whether it added something to your understanding. I've also given you all the ways through which you can connect with me. You can write an email, you can connect on our Telegram channel. We also have a free PSI course that you can enroll in. And of course, I'm there on Instagram by the name Saral by Neelam and YouTube by the same name Saral by Neelam. So you can absolutely reach out to me on any of these mediums. Give me 48 hours to reply, and I'll surely get back to you. Now I'll take up all the questions. So you can put all the questions in the chat in the Q&A section and let me pick up all the questions one by one. Thank you so much, Harshita. I'm so glad it was helpful. Idea ye tha that I give you all the resources that you need and you don't need any other strategy session after this at least. What do you say? Have I been able to do it? Please let me know. Harshita says, ma'am, can you answer at the end of the session? So I'm going to read out all the PYQs one by one. And then you can, if there's anything that is left, then we can take it up once all the PYQs are done. So I'm going to read out the PYQs also, so that if others also have those questions, you can take a look at it. Thank you so much, Prakshita, Srinath. I am so glad that the session was helpful to you. Now, those of you who want to leave may leave. Those of you who want to stay back may stay back. If you have anything good or bad to say about the session, you can just write a line and leave. Or if you want to write to me, of course, you can write an email to me. So Harshita is saying, ma'am, you can answer at the end of the session during Q&A. Does PSR can be done by self-study who is already working in corporate job? Give 2 hours a day for PSIR. I have been seeing all your PSIR videos from Insta and YouTube as well. Please try to respond. Yes, you can do it from self-study. The only thing that I would like to talk about here is one, do you have a background? If you don't have a background in PSIR, it can get a little difficult, Harshita, I'll be honest. But it's not that it's not doable. People have done it and it is doable. 2 hours, I'm not very convinced. You need to give at least 3.5 hours to 4 hours every day. I'll tell you why. I want you to finish it up till December. And if you want to finish it till December, then at least 3.5 hours will be needed. So just let me know what is stopping you from purchasing a course. Matlab, what is the reason? You don't want to? Then see what you can do also, Harshita, is try and test it out for 15-20 days. खुद से करके देखो. Do it on your own. See, and if you are able to, reproduce some answers, are PYQ making sense to you? And that's going to give you a good perspective. So don't jump on this conclusion. I am not saying it's impossible, it's possible. But you need to give 3.5 hours. For optional, self-study can get a little difficult sometimes. So you test it out. You sit, you do it for 15 days, see what comes out as a result, and then you can take your call. If there is anything personal about it, then you can write to me and maybe I'll help you navigate. Abhishek says, ma'am, will you upload this PPT on Telegram? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, so those asking XYZ notes are good or not, I don't comment on other teachers. I don't like to do that, and I think it's not right to do that. So I'll not comment on XYZ notes, but I can tell you any notes that help you understand, any notes that are adequately answering all the PYQs, go ahead. Go ahead. Ma'am, can a 4-year BA honors degree help with PSIR once? Absolutely. 100%. Bilkul, it helps. Why not? Absolutely, it's very, very helpful. Prabhazul says, ma'am, okay. Pavitra says, ma'am, I don't speak Hindi. Will all the sessions? As I said, everything is in English. Okay. Ma'am, does PSIR can be done by self-study, Harshita? I think I answered that already. Hitanshi says, ma'am, I'm preparing PSIR on my own, but I'm making notes by XYZ notes plus a book because in notes clarity is less. Huh? Yes, that you can do. Absolutely, Hitanshi. But just make sure once you have made the notes, make sure that you are revising them adequately and parallelly solving PYQs. So don't just read notes, read notes, read notes, and don't align it with PYQ. PYQ alignment is very important. Okay, Hitashi? Bharat says, ma'am, where do I start reading PSIR? Whether I go order wise? If I go order wise, means it seems difficult to me. Okay. Let me do one thing, Bharat. Let's start having monthly sessions on PSIR Fix. Let me start making videos on PSIR Fix. Maybe that way it will get a bit easier for you. Abhi ke liye, what you can do is, Bharat, don't go topic wise. Just divide PSIR Fix into 4 sections and do week wise. Then it will not be overwhelming. So week 1, pick up 2 things, maybe scholar and book. Week 2, make it all about current affairs. So divide it into 4 weeks. And last ke week mein you practice active recall sessions. Pick up the best lines from PSIR Fix and add it to your summary notes, Bharat, with that topic specifically. so that now you have everything at one place. Is it difficult? Yes. Why? Because you have started your PSI preparation. Once you will be done with more of your syllabus, it's going to come on easily to you. But does that mean you should wait for syllabus completion? No. Please start reading it as soon as possible. Does that make sense? Anonymous says, when we write words provided by you in PSI dictionary, should we also write a small explanation to it? 2-3 lines, Anonymous, for you to be able to make sense. सिर्फ आपको समझ में आ जाए इतना. Only you should be able to understand it as much. That you can do. Not like elaborate, please. Okay. Ma'am, can I get your course notes without enrolling in the course? I don't want to watch lectures, but I want your notes. I'll certainly pay for those notes. As of now, we don't have that facility available, Ritu, but a lot of people have been asking for it, so we will be doing something about it for sure very soon. Some of these notes are available on my own website, that is saralbyneelam.com. You can check there. If some specific topics you need, maybe you can download it from there. But I'll definitely look into it and do something about it. Satya says, ma'am, currently I started with political ideologies, each topic. So till December, we'll complete paper 1 along with answer writing. You can complete all 4 sections by December. Why only paper 1? Try to have a target of completing both the papers by maximum January. You can do it. That's absolutely doable. I'll also give a 6 months plan very soon. You stick to that. You can complete it. It's not that difficult. So Hasini says, how does preparation for PSIR as an optional subject differ from studying political science for BA and MA? Good question. I would not like to compare it to BA. BA is the foundation. We built on that foundation in our optional. What changes is here you get bit more contemporary, because in your graduation or post graduation, even static answers do fine. Here you need bit more of interconnection, bit more of current orientation. But having said that, if you're somebody who has done PSR optional nicely, you can easily to nahi, but like you can nicely do your masters and vice versa. One more thing, Suhasini, BA and MA can be very fact heavy, but PSIR is more analysis heavy. Having said that, both help with each other. Anonymous says, ma'am, will your optional notes be enough? 100%. 100%. More than enough. More than. You can check out the sample notes also. Paper 1 section A तो हमने पूरा upload किया है. We have uploaded entire paper 1 section A on your PSIR free course. So you download and see. Harshit says, ma'am, does evaluating answers through AI model is advisable? Is it correct method to evaluate my answers? Yes and no both. That actually depends on few things, Harshit. AI को you give the content and ask to evaluate strictly on the basis of content, not based on random sources. So just make sure that you tighten the AI model with regards to some notes or structure or maybe some past analysis, something like that. So over reliance can be bad, but sure, you can use it. Why not? Thoda sa more structured prompt, more tighter prompt can perhaps help. The free notes are there in our. You can upload topper's answer copy also. Also give notes, Harshit, and tell it ki okay, don't hallucinate. Stick to the notes, stick to the structure. The feedbacks should not be generic. Something like that. Maybe structure it more tightly, and it can help you. The free notes are there in the PSIR free course, Prakishta. You go to UPSCprep.com. There is a PSIR free course. 1 rupee it will charge you, and then you can download the course. I think Ritu, I've already answered about the notes. I'm surely going to speak to the team about this. Can we get only test series paid batch? Like we only write test? Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is also available anonymous. Only test series is also available. Hitashi says, ma'am, as you talk about summary notes, but I'm adding notes plus book points and making my notes, and it is not becoming summary notes. I want you to make summary notes. Long notes to hai, those are there, but long notes are not enough. And I'm going to tell you why. Abhi ke liye long notes good look very good, but after a point you are not able to revise them. They add and add and add and add, and there is a bulk that you are never able to come back. So I really recommend, after you're done making detailed notes, please make summary notes. A little extra effort, but this summary note is going to be the one that you are going to read. Ye samajh lo. You're never going to come back to your detailed notes, but you're surely going to come back to your summary notes, is what I think. Hitashi. So I think I've answered all the questions, but let me check. Can we get a only test series? So as I said, yes, only test series batch is there. You can take a look at it, sure, on the website. Ma'am, can you ensure that you will complete full syllabus of both paper one? I don't have PSIR background. Oh, sure, sure, Siddhi. So what you do is you watch some of my videos, also watch some free videos uploaded on free course, then only take your decision. But yeah, I can assure you that I go from basic to advanced. But so make summary notes topic wise and arrange them paper wise. So anonymous paper one part A, you started first topic, second topic, third topic, fourth topic, like that. Like that. So segregate them paper wise and make them topic wise. आया समझ में? Awesome. Lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Stuti. Awesome. Lovely. Lovely. I'll see you in the course then. Anything else that you want to ask? Should we call it a day? Anything else that I've missed? So thank you so much. It was quite 2 hours, but I am impressed that so many of you stayed till the end. That shows that you're really serious about the preparation. Now go back and start implementing. Don't keep this as yet another workshop that you attended and never implemented. Implementation is the key. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Take care, and I'm going to see you soon with some other workshop or some other food for thoughts. Very, very good, Harshit. I'm going to see you soon in the advanced lectures. Thank you, Hitashi. Take care. Bye bye. God bless you, everybody. Have a good night.